This is the instructional video on the Shotgun Ryder. It's going to come in one of two variations. It's going to come in the XL or the XL1. The XL is for vehicles with a smaller gap in between the passenger seat and the center console. The XL1 is for vehicles with a larger gap in between the center console and the passenger seat. The XL1 will still fit in the smaller size vehicles, just with a more snug fit. I'm gonna get into showing you what's inside the package, and we'll get going on how to install it. Let's get to it. Alright, we're gonna be installing the XL1 just because I like a little more snug fit, and as you can see from past hunters and clients' guns and people's guns, they always bounce around inside the vehicle, and I just want a more snug fit going from glass and spot to glass and spot. So when you get the package, just going to open it up. Now come with your Shotgun Ryder for the gun that you have. This is for a right-handed Weatherby. It's going to come with a set of instructions. And then 2 replacement non-slip pads. These pads just have a adhesive on the back of them, and you stick them on wherever it fits best for your application. And then an alcohol pad. So what we're going to do here is we're going to affix Shotgun Ryder to the base of the rifle, just like that. One thing to keep in mind when you're doing this is where the position of the seat is going to mostly be, because if it's forward, it changes the steeper angle. If the seat's back, then your rifle can lay more flat. The optimal position is to have the passenger seat slid back to where you can get in here on a low profile. Have it as low profile as you can. Your passenger's arm can still rest on the center console, have access to your seat belt, and still be able to open and close your center console. If you're limited for space in the back seat, the other option is to have the seat slid forward, where you would be having the passenger ride, and then this would go in between the backrest and the center console. This steepens the angle of the rifle. It can't really get your arm over that way, but for very long barreled guns and having the seat slid forward, this is what you're going to have to do. We're going to set this up in the ideal position, which is the seat in the back position. So with the seat in the back position, as far back as it will go, we're going to set that in there. Most of the times the base will contact the floor, and that's a good thing. But so you guys can see what I'm talking about, I'm going to be using a silver Sharpie. So if I get in here and look, I can see that in this position the seat is contacting the front part of this, mostly the front part of this. It's touching the whole thing, but the most contact is from center forward. So I'm going to take a visual reference. We want these pads, we're going to make a mark where these pads are going to end up on the back of the base. So I'm going to take a visual reference, and I know I want it center forward. I'm going to put a mark on the side, like that, with the marker. I'm going to pull it off. There's one mark right there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back in, look down in there, figure out where the most contact is going to be. You want these pads to ride where the most contact is going to be, and every vehicle is going to be different. That's why they don't come on the back of the base already. So I can see that needs to be down toward the bottom third. I'm going to take my alcohol pad, Find that first mark right there on the side, clean the back of the base and all the way down. Clean some of that stuff off too. Let's clean the whole back of the base. Okay, and like we said earlier, there's our mark. Most contact is from center forward. So we're going to put one pad here, and we're going to put one down toward the bottom, because that's where I could see that it was making the most contact with the center console. What we're trying to do is protect the center console, because most of the time they're plastic and the seat's either leather or just cloth seats, so we don't have to protect these as much. So we'll take the back of the pad off. Now that alcohol's dry, we'll put the pad on the center toward the front. So we said from center forward, that's where the pad is on the back. Press that down really good. And then I could see that I wanted this other pad down towards the bottom. So I'm going to put this other pad down toward the bottom in line with that one. Just like that. Then what we're going to do is put this back in place. So pull the seat back. And that's where it's going to ride. You'll have to, every time you change seat position or the gun angle is going to move depending on where the seat is, where the backrest is. And then I'll show you those pads will still work for it being in the back position. We'll pull the gun out. We'll slide the seat forward. Now in that position, the gun is setting just past the side of the vertical part of the seat, the backrest part of the seat. And that's how you install the Shotgun Ryder.